stand up there in front. Smile, you're on camera.
You are on camera. It is day 2 of the Showmanship Clinic. It is hot and rainy.
It is hot and rainy. It's disgusting outside.
I don't know if I can say it's hot. I'm actually kind of close.
You wait. Get you running. It'll be hot today.
Don't remind me.
You wait. How's everybody doing today on this Tuesday, February 20th?
It's rainy, cold
Rainy,
Tuesday.
warm,
What's that? It's
warm Tuesday.
Well, if the door open, it's kind of cold.
Feels good to have the door open.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Sarah. Go out there.
So we are waiting for Kel, right? We are missing our cameraman. We need these
camera shy.
camera shy. Yeah, that's
You're
me.
camera shy.
You know me. I'm camera shy. I'm gonna fill these up. We'll come back.
Wait, I'll hang up. I'll fill up real quick. I have to get something.
Trusty assistant, please.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
Will you fill all of them?
Yeah. And then we need
Are you going to get them all, or are you going to need help?
She's not gonna be able to get them all.
Yeah,
We need a showmanship lead. So is that gonna be in the tap locker? Yeah. Okay. We'll wait for them to come back. Shayna, how are you? Chelsea, you guys staying dry over there? Pat Martinez, how are you today? Cindy Reynolds, Mama Reynolds watching. How are you? So we're waiting for the girls to come back and we'll get started here. I'm watching the rain come down in sheets over here. Which, hey, I'll take it. It's better than snow, right? Joan Meekoff, glad to have you here. Hey, Chris, glad to hear it. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear everybody learning something. Everybody be learning something. That's what this is about.
I can be a waitress.
Thank you, Cindy. We enjoy it. Michaela, how are you?
How
Oh, you guys,
how full you want
you
them?
don't want them very full, huh? Cheaters.
I didn't fill them.
Cheaters.
She
Look
did.
at
I
this.
got the lead.
How
So look
full
at
do
this
you want
cup.
them?
See this little solo cup? Look at all these, look at these cheaters. There's no water in
Look,
there.
it's dripping already.
Oh, cheaters.
Do you want more water?
Yeah, all the way to the top.
Okay,
Oh,
put those down, top them off.
Yeah, fill those back up.
I got you.
Cheaters.
Oh, no.
Alexis, you
I
are
don't know
very
about
welcome.
that
I'm glad to have you
full.
here.
I don't want to be drenched before going back outside.
That's the idea.
Hi, everybody.
I promise we're not drinking on film here. It's gonna be a little showmanship exercise. Jesse, glad to hear it. Oh, Michaela, that's no good. Work. Who needs work?
I
Come on
just
in.
barely made it from work.
Yeah, we got one just barely made it from work. You could rush out here, do some showmanship, run around with us, and then leave. Kat, how are you? So yeah, we're gonna build on what we did last time. So remember last time we had no horse, no lead or anything. We're gonna build on that today. And today's video is gonna be about keeping rhythm with your horse, okay? So I wanna kind of take you guys from very ground basics and start you and build you up. It is February 20th, which means we are approximately 8 months away from Congress. So I think the showmanship would show right about this time in October. So it's time to start getting that mindset of showing hard, right? Hey, Brooke, how are you?
We're dead. That's all it is. We're just want to get a bath before going home.
So yes, it is time to start thinking about Congress.
What's that thumping noise?
The wind.
It's the roof vents.
I'm gonna be drenched.
Oh yeah. You thought it was raining outside. I guess we just put the cups outside and fill them up from there.
Where's my mom?
Who knows?
She'll be here.
Casper. So what we want to do today is we're gonna run you guys through the showmanship with the horse. Watching live while building
I'm gonna
cars.
be
That's
here.
awesome.
You're gonna
Even better. See, a lot of people are like, well, they'll never be able to make a 3 o'clock broadcast, but I've been amazed. The 3 o'clock has actually been bigger than the
The
6,
late.
7 o'clock, the late one. So everybody who ought to be working, watching this, I appreciate it. Couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you for all the shares, the likes, the views.
Thank you.
The more you guys do, the more we can do for you and give back. So
Oh no.
just one hand. So actually come on out here. We can get started, I suppose. It's a little late. So today, we're going to build on, we have our trusty helpers, we have Macy and we have Sam. We're going to say hello Macy, hello Sam.
Hi guys.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to go back over the steps and everything. So we'll get warmed back up. Before we do this, get warmed up. So those of you at home, those of you at work, grab a friend, grab a coworker, grab a husband, a wife, whatever it is you need to grab. Because today's going to be about working with somebody. This is the second part of the dance, right? So you guys learned the steps last time. Now both of them should be familiar with the steps. So we're going to build on that. We're going to learn rhythm. We're going to learn timing. We're going to learn feel today. Okay? So go ahead and set up your horse.
Is she my horse?
Head this way, tail this way. Just imagine a horse first. Just get warmed up. So there you go.
I don't know. What way do I want to be?
Which
Am I on
way
the
is
other
our
side
horse
or
going to
this
be today? So we're going to be a little bit sleepy at first here. Cross over. Over, across, step together. Cross over, over, across, step together. Rule number 1 of showmanship, take your spurs off, right? Bad plan to do it in spurs.
Let's just do a face plant.
Yeah, face plants are bad. So rule number 1, stay upright in your showmanship, right? We do not want to fall down. Go ahead and cross over, Sam.
Over, across, step together.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together.
I'm going to give her the horse's nose. You guys should remember this from last time, right? So we have our horse's nose in the dirt. We're going to walk the line today. Cross over.
Over, across, step together.
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 So now, when we cross back over and we get set on the other side, we're going to add another piece to this because you guys have been practicing all week long, right? So now that you're confident, you're comfortable with your steps, we're going to add a piece to this side. We're going to go hawk, eye, judge. Okay? So without turning your head much, we're going to be standing over here. When we get back crossed over, we're here. We're going to go hawk, eye, judge. Cross over. We're going to step here, hawk, eye, judge. The reason we do that is because you want to check your horse. We don't want our horse to be resting or looking somewhere else, right? So when we come back across, we're going to check your horse to make sure he's not resting a hind foot. You're going to check his eye to make sure he's got his head level and he's paying attention. And you're going to go back to your judge to acknowledge that they're there. That will give you a little bit more timing and feel and rhythm when you're crossing over, because then your judge, about the time you finish your check through, is about when you're going to move again, right? So it gives you something to do so you're not just like awkwardly standing there kind of waiting for the next thing to happen, right? So cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Good. So you see, like we talked about last time, when you start calling it out, that's when you can really tell if you're confident and comfortable or off balance or whatever, right? If you're not confident and comfortable through this, then when you come back over and you go hawk, eye, judge, you're not going to have the confidence to look at the judge with that, I'm here to show my horse, right? So cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
So now, Sam's not really taking this that seriously, right? So you see her head just kind of lolling around, right?
Yep.
The more seriously you take this, the more prepared you will be when we go to show at Congress, right? Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Good, so without so much head movement, cross back over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Perfect. Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
So now this gives her eyes something to do while she's showing, right? So instead of being here and getting stuck looking at your horse or looking at the ground, now you have something to do where you look confident with what you're doing. So we're going to draw that little triangle back to the judge every time, right? Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Good. Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
I don't know if you guys are keeping track of how many times we're crossing over today, but I want you to pay attention to that. We're going to get thousands of reps in. Okay, so we're going to get thousands of reps in doing this because that's the only way that this becomes muscle memory. It's the only way that it becomes automatic, right? The key to good showmanship is that it's automatic. You don't have to think about it. If you're not thinking about your steps, if you're not thinking about what you have to do, you can think about showing your horse, right? If you're too focused on how do I cross over or how do I present my horse to my judge, you're not going to be able to bring your style and your expression into this. And I think that was one of the questions we had from the last clinic was, how do I bring my own personal style, my own pizzazz to the showmanship? And it's all about that, right? Take all the pieces that you have to worry about and simplify them so you're not focused on those little things anymore, and you can focus on the big picture, which is how do I look overall out there, right? I don't want to be stuck thinking about where are my arms and try to show at a high level, right? That needs to be automatic. You need to be very confident, very comfortable with where they are. Go ahead and cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
Over, across, step together, hawk, eye, judge.
Cross over.
over, across, steps together, hack, eye, judge.
Walk off. 2, 3, good. Step back up. So we're getting you guys warmed up. Those of you participating at home or at work or the elevator, that was pretty funny last time. Someone was playing in the elevator. Walk off. 1, 2, 3, good. Reset. Walk off. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Reset. Walk off. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Reset. So now Sam's all warmed up. So Macy, come on out. We're going to be a horse. So we're going to move this way out here this time so you guys can see it. So when we do this, this is the partner activity. So we want to make sure we have a friend. Hopefully we stay friends after this. So we're going to go do the horse. So it's this wrist. Turn, turn. Yep. So you're going to be showmanshipping right here, right? So now this chain, I'm going to make a loop. It's going to go around Macy's wrist. We're going to keep it kind of tight. That way it doesn't slip off, and that way Macy has to pay attention. Now you're going to lose some friends doing this if you, so we always say once everybody gets good at this, the handler has permission to shake the horse if they're not paying attention, right? So if your horse doesn't keep up with you, you can drive it forward. The next lesson we do, once you guys are solid with this part, is we're going to bring the horse out and we're going to actually work with the horse. So that's next week's clinic will be on with the horse, how do we do it all together, right? So go ahead and walk. 1, 2, 3, good, come back. Loop back around. So we're going to have to kind of operate in a little area here. Let me see where our lines are. So go ahead and walk across. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop. That's the edge of the frame. Draw a line. Thank you. Good job, ladies. Come back. And we're going to go a little confusion. All right. We're going to go back. Go ahead and take up a trot. Trot down to the other end. I'll tell you when to stop. And stop. Good. That's the edge of the frame. Draw a line. Perfect. Okay, so we have the edge of the frame. Now, what we want to look for here, guys, is the horse needs to go first. Okay? So when we do all this stuff, the horse needs to be the first one to travel off and do everything, right? Yes, so horse keeps her arms straight. This is good practice for everybody, right? They just need to know where a straight line is. Go ahead and do a 90-degree turn so they can see that. Actually do a 270 so they can see where her arms are. Good. And Macy's going to pivot. Which leg is she going to pivot around? Inside hind, right? So she's going to pivot around her right leg. Go ahead and finish that up all the way. Good. So with this, we're going to get our speed right. We're going to get our flow right. Okay? So we want to have speed and flow. That's what good showmanship has. Okay? So we want to see them move together. The key to this being, if Sam is accurate in her footsteps, Macy will know without saying a word where she's supposed to go, right? She's going to know whether it's a pivot, she's going to know whether it's a walk-off, she's going to know whether it's a trot-off, right? Because you're going to clock and kiss. Okay? So we're going to make sure our horse knows where we're going, right? So go ahead and take up a walk. Good. So the key to this being, good, stop. Good. 180. When we do this stuff, the key to this is that Sam doesn't feel Macy at the edge of the line, right? You're in front of your horse. See, your horse had to move, right? So back up just a little bit. Yep. That's why we do the partner part of this, right? Because now it kind of gives you a better feel for what it's going to be like with the horse. The first part of that was getting your steps right. Your arms are going to hurt, aren't they? So this is going to be helpful because you're going to develop the shoulder strength to be able to hold your shoulders up the whole time. It's beneficial to be either one of these, the horse or the participant. You both will learn showmanship the same way. Go ahead and trot back across. Good. Go ahead and stop. So what I want to see is I want to see crisp, even stops. I want them to move together as a pair. They are dancing, and good showmanship is a dance, and it does what, ladies? Good showmanship does what?
Takes your breath away.
Takes your breath away. Bingo. So both of you guys should be out of breath by the time we're done with this. Go ahead and 180. Trot. So I want to see their legs moving. There you go. Stop. Good. Now Sam stopped before or after Macy did, right? So our horse stopped before us, and that's going to be a common problem. So make sure you drive your horse all the way to the end of your line. Make sure that you finish, right? So what I want to see and what we're going to do with the horse when we get around to this is the horse is going to drive first. When you go to trot off, I do not want to feel my horse at the edge of that line, and I want him to go first, okay? So 180, trot off. Good, good, good. Trot. Good, stop. 180. So now, Sam didn't set her feet right before she went to her turn, right? So we want to make sure we add that pause. Remember, our turn comes here, square, then goes, right? So don't go here, go, because you're not going to set up. So 180 again. Stepping around, stepping around, stepping around. Come back around. Good, good, good. Good. Trot off. Masons to keep up. Stop. 180. Trot. Better. Stop. 90. Stop. So, did you see how you did not set your feet again, right? So now we've introduced a horse to this. It's kind of a little bit harder. We're not going to make sure that we're making sure that our feet are right, okay? So when we have a horse, make sure your steps are still the same, right? 90. Trot off. Nice, nice. Go ahead and stop. You see how her steps were right, left when she went to trot off right there. That keeps everything fluid and in motion. Okay, if she were to go from her pivot to a trot off and she does this, it's awkward. But her pivot to a trot off went boom, 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 like that. Right, left, right. Okay? So make sure that you're getting that right, left, right, left, right, left, so your pattern stays in motion. Okay? 180. How many? How many?
Too many!
Right? So our horse has permission to shank our rider. This is where your horse should reach out and bite you, right? If your horse knows the pattern better than you do, your horse has every permission granted to bite you. Okay? Yeah. So I want to make sure that we are not being confusing to our horse, right? Be clear and concise to your horse. Give good directions. It is not your horse's job to know the pattern. It is yours. Okay? And if you've ever gone to a show with me, a horse show with me, I will tell you it is not my job to know the pattern. It is yours. Okay? So I will coach you through the elements, through the maneuvers, but it is your job as an exhibitor to know the pattern. Okay? So study your pattern before you go to the class. If someone says to me, what's the pattern, as we're going into the ring, it's over, right? They're done. It's not up to me. They have to go out there and do it themselves. I will run through and practice with them, but it's their job to know the pattern. Okay? Go ahead and trot off. Good, stop. Nice, stop. Everybody see that? Real crisp, real clear, real together with that. 180. I want to see you guys moving in unison. I want to see a pair here. Good, trot. Good, stop. Look how much more crisp their legs got through that. If you guys looked at the progression of this over the last 5 minutes, as they get more comfortable, now their legs are swinging together. And that just adds a little bit of flash, a little bit of pizzazz to that showmanship when you guys' legs are swinging together. That's why it's important, Macy, do you feel like you have to go first? If you go first, you guys go together. If you don't, it doesn't look right. You guys are on different timings for your feet. Go ahead and 180. Trot. Stop. 90. Back. 90. Good. Trot. Nice. Stop. Nice. 180. Good. Trot. Right turn.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. We weren't ready. We weren't ready. Confused. That's what confusion looks like when we're doing this, right? So we want to make sure that our horse and our rider are very in tune to each other, because that's what confusion looks like. And if you've ever watched a showmanship class where that horse flings its head, that's confusion, right? So I wanted to throw that at him because I knew that's exactly what was going to happen. When your horse starts to anticipate, that's what happens. That's why we don't practice the patterns with our horses, guys. When I'm doing this stuff, I run through the patterns very, very rarely with the actual horse. We do a ton of stuff with the person running through the pattern by themselves, because the rider should anticipate this, right? My handler should anticipate the pattern. You need to know where you're going, right? You don't, right? So when the horse thinks they know, that's the problem, and I'm sure you guys have all run into that before, where your horse thinks they know the pattern. and it's just because you practice too much with them, right? So we've done this about 6, 7 times, maybe a little more, and Macy thought she knew what she was doing, right? She's like, I got this now. So keep that in mind. Confidence is good, anticipation bad. So practice enough to get your horse confident, but don't practice so much that they start to anticipate, right? Because anticipation leads to that jerky stuff, right? All right, so now we're going to add another piece. Now we're going to add right corners and left corners to it, okay? So we're going to go square corners here, guys. So when you practice, we want to make good, square, solid corners. Go ahead and walk a corner to the right. Now, when you go a right corner, the person on the outside has got to travel faster than the person on the inside, right? So just make a little box here. We'll talk about it. Go all the way to the frame. Okay. Just drag that horse around. So we want to make sure that you guys make good square corners. So the person on the outside of the corner has to travel further and faster than the person on the inside. Which means when you make right corners, your exhibitor's got to speed up a little bit, right? To get around the corner. My horse has got to bend his neck slightly to get around there. When we come back through and we make left corners, my horse has got to speed up, right? So come back through, make a right, make another right. Yep, we're cutting in half. Now make a left. Now, do you see how Maisie's got to speed up her steps a little bit? My horse has to do the same thing, so we will practice these left corners, right? This left box is really, really important. Look how Sam does her hand. She's going to take her hand, I'm going to come at you, I'm going to take it like this, I'm going to turn it over and drive through my corner, okay? I want to make sure that I'm leading with the corner with my hand. My horse has got to lead the way. He's got to come up and be with me. I can't tell you how many times I see someone come around this corner, going straight to the camera. See how that keeps Sam's shoulders square? How many times, go ahead and turn left, do we see someone come at the camera like this or at the judge like this because they didn't keep their horse up with them? This is not showmanship. This is showmanship. You always stay square. So when you turn your shoulders, it automatically puts your right hand forward. So we want them to twist their midsection, and the horse has got to speed up a little bit, take a little longer step. So when we add the horse to this, we will spend a lot of time taking our hand, sending that horse forward. It's really, really important our horse stays light on the chain, right? Send him forward, twist around that corner, because even though this is not square to your straight line, it is square to your corner or your circle. So go ahead and take up a trot. Good, turn. Turn. This will get you guys a feel for what your horse has to do, right? Your horse has got to keep up. Turn. Straight. Turn. Stop. 180. How's your breath, guys?
Ow.
All right, trot. I like it. My showmanship army. Right turn. See how you have to speed up, Sam. Right turn. Good. Right turn. Good. Stop. Nice. Horse a little off balance there. Go ahead and set up. Cross over.
Over, across, step together.
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 What's the second piece we added today? Hawk, eye, judge. Right? So now I will walk with you. So now we can add a judge to this, right? Good. Don't lean back. Stay upright. There you go. Good.
Over, across.
Early.
Oh, shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder. Right? Uh-huh. So when I pass this horse's shoulder, I want Sam to come with me. Good.
Over, across, step together. Hawk, eye, judge.
Good.
Over, across, step together.
Ah, see?
That's hard.
That's hard, isn't it?
This one is like, oh yeah, I did that one.
Right, so that's what we talked about that timing, right? It is step, 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 okay? Some judges go faster, some judges go slower, or ring stewards in our case. My best piece of advice to you is to watch the pattern before yours, okay? Watch some of the patterns before yours. If you're like 12th to go, watch the first couple patterns because you need to know which way does the ring steward go around the horse first and how quickly do they step. Because it's their job to do it consistently the whole way. If he stops behind one horse's hip, he has to stop behind every horse's hip, okay? He can't just make one exhibitor's pattern really hard, okay? So if he starts to the right, he's got to start to the right every time. Starts to the left, he's got to start to the left every time. Do we have a question?
This is Mindy Mark's wife from Ocala, Florida, and she wondered if she can ask questions.
Yes, feel free to ask questions. We'll get to them at the very end of this. Unless it's like urgent and it's something we're doing right now and Our Kelly, our cameraman, is going to be checking up on that. So,
Woman.
yep, camera woman. Yes, go ahead and switch, guys.
Your turn.
My turn. I'm gonna die for you.
I haven't warmed up.
Yeah.
Okay, don't like strangle me. We're not wrong. We're not gonna eat you.
So I will take my more experienced showmanship people and I'll hook them up to my more novice showmanship people first. Okay? Reason why I do that is because I want my novices to start thinking about how quickly we have to move. Okay? So I want to have someone who's really experienced teach my younger people or my newer people how to do this, right? Because the pace is a little bit harder to get right. Okay? Go ahead and 180. Set up. Good. Cross over.
Over, cross, step together.
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 180. A little close, right? There you go. Set up. All right, so I'm your ring servant.
Oh boy, are you behind the horse?
I'm behind the horse. I'm going to be behind the
I'm
horse.
not gonna hit you.
Early, early, early. Shoulder.
Okay.
Straight up and down. Stand and lean back. There you go. Ah, go, go, go. Go, go, go. Come back. Cross over. Over. Across. Step together. Good. Go. Over. Across. Step together. Good. Go. Over. Across. Step together. Good. Go. Step together. Good. Go. Over. Across. Step together. Good. Go. Over. Across. Step together. Come back.
Over.
If the judge stops right behind your horse, do you switch over or do you wait?
You wait. If he does not cross behind the horse, if he's directly behind the horse, you wait. Okay? It's only when he moves all the way across. And again, the best way to be prepared for that is to watch the patterns before you to know. Okay? If you are, by chance, the first one to go, you're going to have to be a little bit late crossing over if you think there's a chance the judge is going to stop, right? But again, watch the showmanship classes before yours too, right? Because if he does it one way for one, he's more likely to do it the same way for all of them. Okay? So, making sure that you're paying attention to that. That's showing strategy, right? And we're going to talk a lot about that in videos to come, is show ring strategy where, how do we go out and watch the pattern? What do we watch for? What are our markers? What do we look for? What do we watch about the judge? What do we watch about the exhibitors that go before us? And how do we decide how we're going to show that day in particular, right? So, go ahead and walk off. Right turn. Right turn. Right turn. Trot.
Which way?
Left turn. See how Sam has to keep up? Left turn. Good. Left turn. Good. Left turn. Ah, it's hard. Left turn. Left turn. Left turn. Stop. Back. Now the whoa didn't come, did it, Sam?
Nope.
There was no whoa there. Right? So what I look for here is I want to see, ideally, the same amount of slack stay in this line the whole way through the pattern. That tells me that I have a horse and rider that are moving together. Go take the chain off, grab your cups, ladies.
Jeremy,
Yes, ma'am.
when they stop right in front of you, the judge,
Yes.
and you're on the odd side, do you wait?
So if they stop right in front of you and you're on the offside, you wait until he dismisses you. Yes. So if my horse and rider are set up right here, I guess it'd be like right here. And go ahead and stand right here, guys. Be my horse. So I'm sure I understand this question correctly. Go ahead and face the camera. So a horse's head is this way, horse's tail is that way. I've stopped, I've done my inspection, I've crossed over, and I'm right here, and the judge stops right here, right? So yes, I'm going to wait until the judge dismisses me and says, finish your pattern to come back over, and then go and finish or do a 90 or walk off or back up or whatever that's going to be, right? So, yeah, absolutely want to make sure that you stay on that side, right? Because you have not been dismissed yet to finish your pattern. Okay? So now,
Throw my sleeves up. Okay, I'm ready.
okay. So first things first, first way to do this, just bring your hands over, just go. Just go.
Oh.
Yep.
Like regular cups.
Like regular cups, yep. So now I want to have your hands at the very top of the cups. So make sure you want to walk up and show them what that looks like.
Like this?
Yep. So we're going to use these cups to make sure that our rider's upper body is really steady, right? So you guys see thumb at the top of the cup right here, making sure that our rider is square with our hands, right? So now come back out here.
It's right up to the top.
Yeah, the water's
Water is
like
right to the top.
right.
And the test of this is how steady are you is going to be, you're having a lot of issues. Okay.
Maybe we should have gone a little bit narrower cup.
So the test of this is going to be how much water's in the cup when you guys are done, right? That tells us how steady our upper body is. If you guys are doing this, Sam,
Yup.
if we tend to chug through our run and we pump through it, there's not going to be much water left, right? So make sure there's as much water as possible. Go ahead and set up. And want to make sure that your guys' showmanship stays the same the whole way through. So keep those arms level. Cross over.
Over, across, step, together.
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 Walk off. Right turn. So we're going to find out how unsteady we are. Right turn. Trot. Right turn. Look how steady that upper body got. Right turn. Sam is solid as a rock now. Right turn.
I don't want to be wet, guys.
Macy is getting drenched. Right turn. Stop. Set up. Back up. Stop. 90.
Oh boy.
We lost the horse.
Right around over there. Good. Trot off. Left turn. Left turn. Left turn. Left turn. Stop. Set up. How are we doing?
Wet, but okay.
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a good
It's my
first
outside
day.
hand that keeps sloshing.
The outside hand sloshes a bit, so you're going to find one hand will slosh more than the other. One hand will be a little unsteady more than the other, right?
Nerves.
Nerves, right? Exactly. So this is another piece that you guys can add to your practices to make sure that you're getting as solid and as tight as possible. For me, just like when we show a horse, all the drama, all the action, go ahead and set back up over here. Square somewhere so you can see.
Pick a side base. Like I go there. We're gonna lose all the water.
Alright, so set up. And we want to make sure that when you're doing things, all the drama happens from here down. Okay? I don't want to see any movement or action from the top up, from the waist up. And that's true whether it's showmanship, horsemanship, equitation, or even riding, right? So for when you're riding, your top line, your horse, if you draw a rectangle around his body that finishes right underneath his ribs and up to his neck and his top of his back, that piece needs to be super solid.
Super solid.
I want to see all the action happening underneath.
Right.
Okay? So when we do this stuff, all the drama, all the action happens underneath. Your upper body is a rock. Okay? Cross over.
Over, across, step,
Good.
together.
It's a
Well,
good
we've
start.
done that
Then cross
before.
over.
Over, across, step, together.
Cross over.
Over, across, step, together.
Cross over.
Over, across, step, together.
I hope you guys can see the water just spilling out. Your cup got a hole in it? What happened?
I'm laughing. Okay,
Cross over.
Over, across, step, together.
Cross over.
Over, across, step, together.
Back up. Oh no. Oh no. Visualization skills on point today. Yes. So this is a good warm-up to make sure your mind is in the showmanship zone, right? Some days you get it, some days you don't. Go ahead and back up towards the camera. Good, trot off.
Just gonna watch.
So that's a weird, whoa. I'm just gonna walk, she says. You guys at home should know that I'm just gonna walk does not work here. So go ahead and come back up here. Back up towards the camera. So we're gonna back right here. And then we're gonna go walk off. It's gonna be like this, right? That's the kind of walk around circle. If you're out front of your horse, that's the kind of walk around real casual, make it smooth.
Okay.
And make sure you're on the right side of your horse, because sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm a little tired.
Okay.
Remember, you can learn what to do and what not to do by watching everybody.
That's why I'm here.
Nice job, Mace. All right, so you can take the cups back. You can set that down. So that's a
Okay,
good
guys, you
exercise
still
for you
have to
guys at
remember
home.
you gotta make your show with me.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not
Yeah.
doing this alone.
Stomach.
So showmanship at its finest, right? It's a dance. So hopefully you guys got to see a little bit of that today. Got to see some legs moving together, some striding together, right? And getting the pace down. So what I want to do is I want to run you guys through what a sample pattern would be. We'll use these cones as practice, or these cups as cones. We'll come out here. We're going to let them catch their breath, get a drink, whatever.
Do you need more?
Yeah, I'll need 1 or 2 more.
No, Gavin.
Actually, no, we're good. We can use these, because I'll just be the judge out here. We're fine. So I'm in frame over here, right? It's kind of far away, I know, right?
He's in frame.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Pretty far, but you can see it.
Am I gonna be the horse or she's gonna do
I
that?
guess we can back this up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you should, because
Do I
pretty
have to-
far.
Or are we just doing it people?
Well, we're going to be horse and rider.
I wanna be horse.
And
You
show.
wanna be horse?
So this will be a little preview of next week's lesson, how we're going to do this.
Okay. Hi, horsey. What's new?
So when you break showmanship down into parts and pieces like this, I know the first video might have been a little bit basic for some people out there watching. That's okay, just want to make sure your fundamentals are good. If you guys can skip grades, fantastic, but know everything that came before. So we're going to build you guys up as if you didn't know anything and run you all the way through our Congress prep. So you guys have the same basics and same fundamentals as everybody that's done this before, and it's everything you need to go out there and do well in showmanship, okay? So, basic pattern, okay? This will be a little sneak peek of what we're going to do next week and what we need to do when we start introducing the horse to this. So am I good here, Cal?
Yes.
Okay. So, very basic pattern, something we run into a lot. We're going to walk halfway. We're going to trot, stop, 270, trot to me, stop, back up, settle.
Okay, walk halfway, trot, pass the cone, stop 270. Trot to you,
Trot to me,
stop,
back, settle.
back, settle.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to run this through without any assistance first, and then we're going to break it down and make it a little easier. So go ahead, go.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Is it? Oh, so
It'd be more than a 270.
yeah. Sorry. So yeah, 360, 90. My bad. We'll get warmed up first. Everybody get warmed up. Good.
Oh.
Back.
I know, but it's like I did step off wrong.
Good. All right, go ahead and go back. We'll try it again. We'll run it again. So very first one, we'll run through all the kinks. This is the same way we practice, so everything we do runs this way. So now that we know the pattern, now we know where we're going.
Okay.
Go. Good. So when I'm doing this, I'm watching to see what would this be if I had a horse, right? If this was my exhibitor, is this a check stop? Is it a plus stop? Is it a check plus stop? Is it a minus stop, right? Is it a check back up? Is it smooth? Is it fluid? I don't so much care about what Macy's doing here, but is Sam fluid? Would she, if she had a horse that was doing its job, be putting together check pluses and checks, right? The hardest thing that you will do is stop even with your horse's hip to something for this, right? Because you're making a line back to me, this is going to have to be horse's hip even to me, okay? So go ahead and go back. One more time. Trot right all the way back there. Stay warmed up, ladies. So this time I'm going to call out whether I think it's a check plus or plus, okay, or minus if the case may be, right? So initial setup, this is your initial presentation. Sam is square, she's balanced, her hands are up, she looks confident. She gets a plus in my book. Go ahead. Good, check. Moved off together. Check plus maybe. Just a check. Only a check because she went just a little too far and they didn't stop together. Go ahead. Only a check because she didn't set her feet. Good. Because she went too far, this line's a little crooked, only a check. She's too far away, only a check. Backup was fluid. Good. So now, because she was so far away, look how awkward this is, right?
Yep.
So now after that backup, that's a long ways away, right? And even though it's a backup into a setup, we only want to be
Like 3 steps.
not too far apart, right? So we can get an idea for all of that stuff.
Over
Good.
across the step. I did.
Ah, a little rushy, right? So she took a huge step. Only a check. Come back.
Over across step together.
Good. Check plus.
Over across step together.
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 Staring the judge down. Only a check.
Over across step together.
Good.
Over across step together.
So I don't know if you guys have shown showmanship before, but it's very, very awkward to stare at the judge the entire time. And that's really what the hawk eye judge does for you too, is it gives everybody a little break in the stare down, right? So make sure you go over across step together, hawk eye judge, give that judge a little break. The only time I'm really going to lock eyes with him is when I cross back over this way for a minute before I check my horse again, okay? Because it gets a little awkward when you're staring the judge down the whole way, right? Then it's like a battle of wits with who's the more confident person, who's going to back down first, right? We don't want to predator prey this. So we want to go give that judge a little break, give yourself a little break, don't make it quite so awkward, okay? So now we're set up. We're at a 90 trot off. Good. And stop. Only a check, right? Or stop before our rider, right? Macy's ready to quit before Sam was. So we drive our horse all the way to the end. Drive it all the way to the edge of your pattern, okay? So now that we have this, the more times we run that, the more problems we eliminate, the more we can get focused on little stuff like where are her eyes through this pattern? Is she hitting her marks? Is she thinking about how far past the judge before she has to stop? How many strides past that cone before you have to stop? Those are things we're going to talk about next week when we go into how do we look through a pattern, how do we evaluate, how do we break it down and make it simple so we hit all of our marks, okay?
Is it okay to make the kiss and clucking sounds in class?
Yes, for me, I don't mind hearing someone's voice, right? Again, always think about the lesser of two evils, just like if you were showing a horsemanship class. Is it better to bump on your horse to get him back in the bridle, to put him in an athletic position, or leave it and then not be round when you go to stop and turn and lope off, right? You take the little deduction, if there's a deduction for that particular judge, to make sure your horse is moving and up with you, okay? So for me, I always consider the alternative. If I don't cluck or kiss and my horse isn't paying attention, is there a chance he trots when I want him to walk? Right? What does that deduction look like? Is that a huge deduction? That's a DQ, right? So if my alternative is a DQ because my horse and my rider aren't really in tune with each other, I'm going to take maybe the small deduction for a cluck or a kiss if that particular judge doesn't want to hear it, right? And I think that's really personal preference for a judge, and I would think that you would find if you asked 100 judges, 10 of them care, right? As long as it's not obnoxious, okay? If you're out there and you're and I can hear you from the stands, it's a problem. But a little cluck, a little kiss to me is not a big deal. So, and again, if it's the difference between trotting when you're supposed to be walking or not hitting your stop because you were afraid to talk and say, whoa, I'm going to take the little deduction over the big one. Okay? So, great question. Great question. Any others, Keller? Have I explained myself pretty well?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So, tune in next week, next Tuesday. We'll keep doing this Showmanship Tuesdays. I kind of like it. So next week, Tuesday, we're going to go through, we're going to talk about how we set the pattern up. Once you guys have a pretty good feel for what the patterns are and how to move through them, right? You see how that kind of helps you understand how the pattern flows? Yeah. Then introduce the horse to it. We'll start breaking the horse down the same way. How do we make a horse walk off? How do we make it set up? How do we make it move out of our space? And we'll keep doing it this way so you guys get a good feel for what it's like. That your showmanship has to be good. Once you know your job, you can teach a horse how to do it, okay? So, awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. We love you. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever. You guys know the drill. You've done this before.
We'll see you
right?
Thursday.
We love you. And, yeah, Thursday, probably...
I might see Peanut again.
Probably 7. I think I want to do 2-year-olds on Thursday. So,
yep.
We'll do We'll continue our 2-year-old training. I know a lot of you have 2-year-olds at home that you're working on. I don't want you guys to fall behind. I want you guys to be right there with us. So we will see you Tuesday. We'll probably do a follow-up video on Fridays, just one for the week to wrap it all up. So if you guys liked it, Thursday. What? I get ahead of myself. Who knows? That's why I have her. That's what she's good for. She keeps me in track. I get excited and I just start talking. So awesome. We'll see you Thursday.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Love y'all.